from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And welcome back. GMSA at 9, starting right now on this Independence Day. A lot of coverage we've been doing today.
We are going to continue our wall-to-wall coverage here, the very latest out of Kerr County. Devastating, and we can now confirm deadly flooding that has taken place in several areas in the hill country.
We got our crews standing by right now. Patty Santos has been out all morning long since GMSA at 5 and 6. She's right now near an RV park where at last check water rescues were taking place. Before we go to her, we got to look at this map real quick. Let's check out the different flooding stages that we've been talking about. The biggest area of concern is along Highway 39 near Hunt, which is west of Kerrville. Patty Santos in Kerr County right now. Good morning, Patty. What's going on?
Hey there, good morning, guys. It has been quite a morning for the community here. They are waking up to see all of this debris that has been left all over, and of course to the news that there are deaths as a result of this flooding. We are in the Arcadia Loop community. This is an actual community with homes. One of these homes was actually moved off the ground, but it looks like folks are coming in to pick up whatever they can this morning from that home, and we're going to try to talk to them here in a little bit. Obviously, this is a very difficult situation. A lot of these people, this is their home. This is everything that they have, and within a matter of minutes, everything is lost. But we're continuing to take a look at just how powerful the storm was this morning, how much damage it left behind, and the crews that continue to look for some of these individuals that are missing, that are reported missing. A lot of them in RVs, communities that did not get the warning in time that they needed to evacuate. They were probably sleeping at night. Some of the reports saying that there were people that were yelling for help as their RV was floating down the river. But again, this is the community right now just south of Ingram, Arcadia Loop. The storm leaving a lot of debris behind and a lot of flooding damage for some of these communities. Well, we're going to bring you more updates here shortly. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, good morning, and I'm still checking out the area over here in Center Point. This is going to be in between Kerrville and Comfort, and right now we just have still that rushing water on the Guadalupe River. This is going to be on the San Antonio Street, also called FM 480, and you can just see a lot of the debris. They have closed this street down right there on the other side of the bank. You can see people just kind of watching. I mean, just awestruck on what's happening out here. I've talked to residents in this area. They say that they've never seen anything like this happen before and seen the water reach this level, but a lot of debris just starting to gather right here on this bridge. Again, this is going to be San Antonio Street in Center Point. Also, the Texas State Highway 27, that's also going to be shut down right now due to high water. It looks exactly like this, but just on the other side. So that's a main street that gets you in between Kerrville to I-10. That's a major street that's going to be closed off right now until this water gets lower, you guys.
All right. Thanks so much, Alex and Patty. You guys stay safe. We'll be checking in with you throughout this morning. Our coverage started earlier around 3:30 this morning. We've been wall to wall with our team coverage. Right now, I do want to give some people some attention or address some of the pictures that we have been getting in. I've been asking for KSAT Connect, any images that you're sending in, any photos that you have that can give us kind of a view of the scene that you're looking at, and we can put it out so that people who are living near you can see it as well. This is coming from Elizabeth Byers. She says low water crossing on Ingram Hills Road. Now, if I press play right here, look just how strong and how powerful this flow is going. It is a mess. And again, you do not want to be caught in any part of this roadways because it is very, very dangerous, very, very risky. And as first responders have said, this has already been a fatal catastrophe as we speak. I do want to bring up this as well. Check out this photo right here. OK, so this is coming from Mike Trollinger. This is his home. I believe it's between the Ingram and Hunt area. And if you look closely, you would see that his home destroyed basically, but the water line up here near the ceiling. This is how high the water has gotten in his house. and right now it's receded, but at this time you see everything is just destroyed and ruined. This is how severe this flooding event has happened throughout this morning. I know a lot of people who are living in San Antonio are probably wondering, we've been going wall to wall with Kerr County and Kerrville. No, this is important because, again, this is where lives are at stake. Livelihoods are just washed away. So if you guys got anything that can give us that perspective, that inside look of what's happening with your setup, I know our prayers are definitely going out for you. I know communities are coming together strong. A lot of people on social media sending their prayers out for everyone and trying to assist as best we can. But again, send your stuff in, KSAT Connect, download the KSAT Weather Authority app. It's going to have everything that you need to know, especially if you are out and about in these areas, in these trouble spots, needing some type of help. Okay, so again, this picture right here just giving us an idea of what people are looking at. And we're going to be following all of your pictures and images throughout this morning. This time, let's take a look at a live cam outside as we speak and see how things are going in our area.
Thank you, Jeff. And yes, let's look outside. It is just light rain here in San Antonio. Still continues to come down. We have wet roads, some slick roads here across the city of town, but no flooding here in San Antonio. We want to make that very clear. For us, it has just been light rain. But as you get up into the hill country, a completely different story has unfolded this morning. So what I'll point out here on the authority radar, and we can zoom out some so you can get kind of the bigger picture, is there's a little spin in the atmosphere right here. So that is an area of low pressure, and it has been drifting around and not moving much, tapping into some incredible amounts of moisture in the atmosphere, and the end result has been an incredible amount of rain, and obviously the flooding, as you just saw. Those pictures coming in from Alex, from Patty, just incredible sights, and really unfortunate, just the way that the river rose this morning. We're talking about the Guadalupe River. It has been a big issue. So let's first start with the rainfall where it is now. And we're now starting to get another heavy band of rain that is starting to move over those areas that have been affected by the flooding. This could cause some rises again. Now, the bulk of the rise in the river is moving downstream at this point. But if we were to get another round of heavy rain, it would be something that we would need to consider. And of course, first responders are still out there doing work and making sure that everyone is safe. So that is kind of the first concern. It's light rain right now in Kerrville, but heavier rain just off to your west. I'm going to pause this now, and we can look at the 24-hour rainfall totals. And these have been nothing short of incredible. So we see that purple color, that is where the bulk of the rain fell this morning. And it happened in about a 3-hour period. But we're estimating about 8 to 10 inches of rain. And with that much rain and the geography of the hill country, all that water rushed into the Guadalupe. And by the way, that road right there actually matches the South Fork of the Guadalupe River. So all that water came into the Guadalupe River, and now it is moving downstream. Kerrville had major flood stage with Guadalupe, and now we're starting to see that move towards Comfort. Now, Alex is reporting from Center Point, which is about right here, and we know that it looks like the water is still very high there. So Comfort would be next in line. So that wall of water and possibly a major flood stage there in Comfort would be moving in here soon over the next couple of hours, and then eventually into parts of Kendall County. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the headlines here. If you're just watching us here in San Antonio and want to get the kind of the bottom line forecast here, is the Guadalupe River is what we have to be most concerned with, not only now but through the rest of today, because that floodwater, again, those floodwaters will work their way downstream. So Kerr initially, Kendall, that's starting to happen now, and then Comal eventually. So be alert. And as I said earlier, if you have plans to camp or be along the Guadalupe River today, you may want to rethink that. Maybe you're going tubing, or you had planned to go tubing. It's not to say that the river is high where, New Braunfels or whatever there right now, and it may take several hours, but just know that as that water, especially as it feeds into Canyon Lake, it's going to be roaring. San Antonio, morning light rain, no flooding here. And we think that the rain's going to let up a little bit as we head towards midday. We still could see a few showers into the afternoon. Now, as it stands right now, we're keeping our fingers crossed that fireworks should be dry. It's not to say we couldn't see a few showers around, but we think that the odds of rain come down. Now, tonight could be a little bit of a different story. We may see some of this redevelop. This weekend, spotty rain Saturday and then warmer on Sunday. So let's look at what we got going on today as far as the forecast, and 60% chance rain now. This is San Antonio, mind you. 40% chance rain noontime, and then a 30% chance this afternoon. A lot of clouds today. You're not going to see much sun. And we'll see a 20% chance rain when we get to around fireworks time. All right, I'm going to head back to the radar real quick because I do want to make sure that everyone is aware that we have a flash flood emergency, not just a warning, an emergency there along the Guadalupe. And actually, we do have, let's go to this Guadalupe River. We can actually look at the warnings that we have going on. I'll see if it'll pull up. There it goes. So the warnings stretch from Comfort all the way to Spring Branch. And this is going to go through tomorrow morning. So again, it will take some time for all this water to kind of funnel through. And we still have these flash flood warnings for parts of Kerr County too. These will go again through Saturday morning. So this stretch, roughly Ingram, Hunt, Center Point, Comfort, Candelia through Spring Branch are what we are worried about. And then Canyon Lake will take on a lot of water. Now, as I said, if you're tubing in New Braunfels today, yeah, maybe you're okay because, again, Canyon Lake's kind of a buffer, right? But they are getting rain here too, and so just be mindful if you're planning to go to a river or stream, and especially, again, Guadalupe River there in the hill country, just avoid it if you can today. All right, we're going over to RJ now with a look at what's going on with some of the roads. You've been keeping close tabs on closures.
Yeah, Justin, and we're getting brand new updates from drivetexas.org. That is TxDOT's website that does reporting for flooding. But we are going to also give you a quick update. City of Kerrville now saying that First United Methodist Church, that's on Thompson Drive, has been established as a shelter for people that have been displaced due to flooding. So again, the City of Kerrville, we're going to focus in on that one in just a little bit. But a couple of things that are definitely catching my attention right now as I kind of scroll through the Drive Texas website. We do have flooding right here on State Highway 27. That is an area that initially we were not getting reports of flooding over the roads, but that is been updated to reflect some flooding right there for Highway 27 coming off of I-10, 1340, FM 1340. Of course, this is our entire stretch of Highway 39 right there, which basically goes from Hunt to Ingram. This right here has been in place for a while now. That's FM 1338. And as I make my way a little bit further south, this has also been an area of concern too. This is Highway 16 all the way down towards Medina. So Medina River obviously running through here, but now reports of some significant flooding on Highway 16. This is a big chunk of road right here, basically going from north of Kerrville right here all the way down to Medina for all of our folks out there, and it appears to be only getting worse for everyone out there. 2107 is now seeing some flooding on the roads, FM 337 as well. Let's take you back over to Center Point right here because, as Alex mentioned earlier, Highway 27 completely impassable right now for our drivers out there in Center Point. My hope is that folks are just not even getting on the roads, and this is Ranch to Market Road 480. So if you're even trying to get to parts of Camp Verde over to parts of Center Point and Highway 27, you are not going to be able to find anything out there in terms of our traffic situation. Let's look at our updated map. So again, Highway 39 completely impassable, closed past the city of Kerrville right now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on Kerrville because there have been several high water rescues, evacuations, particularly in this one spot right here. So the Guadalupe Street along the Guadalupe River completely shut down at the moment. We got that from city officials a little while or so ago. This entire stretch of Main Street completely closed at the moment. Earlier, we had reports of evacuations and high water rescues over by River Oaks Apartments, and that is literally on the banks of the Guadalupe. A little bit further south, there was an RV park, Robles RV Park, which was also having reports of high water rescues and evacuations. And of course, Kerrville has, unfortunately, very sadly, confirmed that there are some fatalities there. So where you see this entire stretch of purple, that means that these roads are completely shut down. This is FM 534 over Veterans Memorial Highway, south of Kerrville Tivy High School. So again, the city of Kerrville just getting hit pretty hard with some major flooding and the repercussions and the after effects of what we saw earlier this morning. Highway 27 completely affected at the moment. This is FM 480, all of in the Center Point area, obviously still completely blocked at the moment as well due to some major flooding out there. And we're going to take you back out to the Comfort area where we are now seeing reports of some flooded roads and some closed roads over Highway 27 for all of our drivers coming in from Comfort. I believe Mill Dam Road is a road that intersects with Highway 27 for everyone out there in Comfort, and obviously High Street. So earlier there were reports that there were officials there were wanting people to evacuate if you live or were along the Guadalupe River. So just a lot of different road closures, specifically Highway 27. That's going to be our biggest one, State Highway 39. And now we're seeing those closures along Highway 16 going from parts of Kerrville further south to Medina. So just a lot of activity there. Dangerous situation on the roads right now. Okay, guys, let's go back to the desk right now to Jaff and Ernie.
Yeah, thanks so much, RJ. Obviously, with this major catastrophic event, a lot of cancellations are happening right now. Okay, so the weather now leading to cancellations, with the city of Fredericksburg posting this on their Facebook page, says that due to inclement weather, the 2025 4th of July parade in Fredericksburg has been canceled. Unfortunately, it will not be rescheduled, but get this, the fireworks are still on for tonight, weather permitting. So you can stay tuned and right here at the fbgtx.org for any updates.
And Guadalupe State Park posted this notice saying that all programs scheduled for today are canceled. The post goes on to warn people that the park expects significant rises in water level and flow over the next few hours. Right now, our web team is working on a roundup of today's cancellations. That'll be up at KSAT.com very, very soon. Want to remind you, of course, to download the free KSAT Weather Authority app if you don't have it already on your device. Today's a great day to have it. It'll help you stay up to date with the weather when the power goes out. The best part, of course, it is free to download. So it's 9:14. We're going to take a quick break right now. Get you right back. Oh, we're going to continue on. All right, that's right. We are going to continue on. Patty Santos, we're going to check back in with her right now. She's been very busy showing us some unbelievable images this morning. So, Patty, what are you looking at right now?
Hey there, we're still in Arcadia Loop here. We have been talking to some of the folks. We're trying to talk to them, but as you can imagine, they're just heartbroken. A lot of them have lost their homes, or it was a very scary scene. I have checked in with them though, and they say everybody's okay. Everybody got out, at least from this road, and so they've been checking in on their neighbors, but they're just heartbroken. There's a lot of damage through their homes, a lot of flooding, and some of them, their damage moved over by the strong current. But the problem is it's starting to rain again, so any type of cleanup that they were possibly looking to do today, it's not going to happen because it's starting to rain once again, and we did get another flood warning here. So we're continuing to monitor the river. It has gone down. But again, with another flash flooding and more rain coming in, a lot of people are going to be watching what happens next. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Yeah, good morning. And right now I'm still in Center Point right now. I'm looking at Texas State Highway 27, and this is the point where it's actually going to be blocked off right here. So you can see the highway is going to be shut down. That's your way to Comfort, to I-10. And right now we do have the Center Point Volunteer Fire Department. They're just here just blocking off, making sure nobody comes in this area. But if I zoom in right here, you can kind of see a vehicle try to make its way at least midway right here. Their car looks to be disabled. Hopefully they were able to get out in time. And it looks like the water in this area has been getting lower. So it's still going to be shut down right now, Texas State Highway 27. So if I zoom out, I can just show you a lot more of this area right here. But I'm going to try and get into some residential streets around here just to make sure that residents in this area has also been able to make it out all right.
So we'll have.
All right, thanks so much. Alex obviously
right
sending us everything that he could possibly can, especially from his view of things that are happening in his area. He actually sent in this particular video as well, and it's pretty alarming. If you look right here, you would notice water is flowing. This car is moving. It is being pushed by the currents of the water. So again, this is coming from Alex Gomez. He just got this from one of the people out there who was sending this in to him. Again, it's just very scary to see. We're trying to figure out more details on this situation, if anybody was in that car or not, or what was going on. We're trying to get the latest on that. I know that this is always an ever-moving, ever-fluent kind of scenario set up. Now, I do want to get back into some of the videos and stuff that are still coming in to our KSAT Connect page. Again, if you guys are in this area, please send us your pictures, send us your videos that you can do safely. Now, I do want to get back into this one. Again, Hitzfelder Moving sent this in to us. This is when he said he got evacuated from Comfort at an RV park at Centerpoint. Again, that video showing a movement of water right there in his RV, obviously on land. But it's very important to note that this is one of those situations where this is people's livelihoods. We're dealing with a case where some people live in these RVs, and some people actually live in and thrive. All of their home belongings and everything is in these particular locations. Ernie, you said that this video just came in, or this picture is coming in from our email. Somebody sent this in. As you see, these are a lot of campers that are walking, look like to some kind of shelter. So this is another.
Yeah, and I was just going to jump in just to tell you.
Situation.
So this was sent to us from a viewer, and we appreciate all these pictures. I mean, this is just so compelling here and difficult to see. This is Camp Mystic outside of Kerrville. Now, this was in the middle of the night. This was like a preemptive. These girls were evacuated, we're told, in the middle of the night. But for those of you who are not familiar, this is described as an expensive girls-only summer camp where many San Antonio families send their girls for camp. Now, again, there is nothing to indicate that any of these kids are hurt or worse in any way, shape, or form. But this is just a photo that was sent in that's pretty compelling. So this would indicate that at least this particular camp got word, was obviously aware of the situation. But to be clear, these girls are walking in what ankle deep water there.
Right there.
And this was in the middle of the night.
Zoom in a little bit more. That is terrifying right there. Can you imagine? It looks like they're all in pajamas trying to get to some type of warm place. So yeah, well, you guys are sending in all of your photos, and I want you to know that we appreciate all of it because it's given us that view of what you are seeing and exactly what your neighbors are seeing at this time as well. Coming up right here, I do want to get to this. The City of Kerrville Police Department just sent this in about 20 minutes ago. Says that at 8:41 a.m. First United Methodist Church, 321 Thompson Drive has been established as a shelter. This is just a reminder to all of our people out there living for those displaced by flooding. Kerrville Fire Department personnel in monitoring area, nursing and assisted living homes. They are sheltering in place at this time. Situation remains active, and we will provide more updates as they are available. So again, this is an ever-changing scenario here, and we are going to stay on top of it because now we're dealing with people's lives. And it's sad to say that on Independence Day, on the holiday, we have some families who are going to be missing a loved one due to this catastrophic event. Right now, I want to pass the torch over to RJ Marquez. RJ, you've been looking at it from the roads perspective.
Yeah, Jeff, and we're getting new updates here on some closures across many parts of the hill country, a lot of roads that a lot of folks use kind of on a daily basis. And of course, because today is the holiday, probably not going to see the amount of volume, but if anyone was out and about doing some camping, or as we just saw there earlier, some of those campgrounds that were completely just washed away, just some tragic photos and videos that we're getting into KSAT Connect right now. And of course, our prayers are out to everyone out there dealing with this flooding situation. As Jeff mentioned, that one shot there for that one location for shelter victims, Kerrville, was hit specifically pretty hard, and they have shut down several of their main roads in the city of Kerrville at this time. Arcadia, Thompson, Guadalupe streets, Broadway Street, FM 534, just Kerrville basically is right now in a state of emergency. So let's kind of give you an update here from Drive Texas. Obviously, we know that State Highway 39 has been completely flooded, shut down for the better parts of our entire morning. I'm going to kind of navigate my way a little bit more east and show you State Highway 16 because basically right here from Kerrville, if you could follow my mouse right there, down to Medina and closer to the Medina River, there are reports of flooding along State Highway 16. And this is something that is kind of new over the past 15-20 minutes or so. FM 2107 reports of flooding there as well. So anyone that is south of Kerrville that is obviously going maybe even towards Medina, I would just suggest obviously staying off of any of these main roads right now at this point because there is a lot of flooding, including this one spot right here, FM 2771, which kind of connects 173 and State Highway 16 over here south of Kerrville as well, a little bit south of the Kerrville County airports there as well. Let's focus in a little bit here on Ranch to Market Road 480, and that is that one stretch that takes you from Bandera over to State Highway 27 over by Center Point. Reports of flooding there as well for all of our folks in the Center Point area. So here's a look at this from our maps. Basically, there is going to be no way that you can get from south of Kerrville on 27 all the way to Comfort. So basically, this entire stretch from I-10 all the way to Bandera Highway, headed towards Kerrville, you're just not going to be able to get through here. It is completely closed, flooded at the moment. FM 480, which runs north and south, also closed at the moment. So Alex has been out here basically at Center Point this entire stretch for the better parts of the morning right now. So he has been reporting that Highway 27 is closed there as well. So this is where the Guadalupe runs through Kerrville. We mentioned earlier Guadalupe Street is also closed at the moment, and they have that staging area in this area here as well. Earlier we had reports of high water evacuations over by the River Oaks apartments. That's going to be right there along the banks of the Guadalupe. A little bit further south we had Robles RV Park, which was also under mandatory evacuations, and you see entire Main Street, which is the main street that runs through Kerrville along with State Highway 16, completely closed at this moment. This is another stretch that we saw earlier. This is Veterans Memorial Highway south of Kerrville Tivy High School. That is completely shut down over by Memorial Boulevard, and this one stretch, which is over the Guadalupe River as well. Bandera Highway appears to still be open, but again, just a lot of flooding in the city of Kerrville. Let's take you now to Comfort, because now there are reports of, say, Highway 27 right here in Comfort that is being closed down because of flooding in this area. This is something that we've been kind of reporting on over the past 15-20 minutes or so, that City of Comfort was about to get some of this activity. Highway 87 right there, that's US Bus 87. That one is also seeing a lot of traffic at the moment. Not sure if people are just kind of avoiding 27, but if you live along High Street, the Guadalupe River runs through 87 right there, headed towards I-10. Just be careful if you're about to be in this one particular spot. So again, City of Kerrville hit pretty hard this morning. Unfortunate news this morning that we have confirmed fatalities there, and just a lot going on. So where are we going next, Caitlin, if you don't mind reminding me? Okay, so we are going to go to Justin. What is the very latest, Justin, in terms of what we're seeing out there?
Well, I think you pointed this out nicely, RJ, is that the waters have subsided in Comfort and Center Point. They're rising in Comfort, and now we're starting to see that rise kind of move into Kendall County. The one hiccup here that we're having is this low that's behind all the spring that we saw much earlier this morning is now starting to rotate some heavier rain back into the Kerrville area. So while we're expecting not the kind of rise that we saw this morning, there could be another kind of minor rise in the Guadalupe River where we've already been hit pretty hard. That would not be good, but this is probably some pretty heavy rain that is surging south at this point, and that will be arriving to Kerrville into parts of Kerr County here soon. So let me give you kind of a timeline of how this all unfolded. We saw the rain develop last night, this little mid-level low pressure system, which is just kind of drifting from roughly San Angelo down to the Kerrville area, really just enhanced rain overnight in a big way. And we have a very tropical air mass over top of us, so it squeezed out this incredible amount of water, and this resulted in flooding. So around 4 a.m. or so, we started to get some heavy rain in Kerr County, and then it just built and built and built. And we were concerned about the Guadalupe River, spilling over its banks, and it certainly did. And we had a major flood stage in these places. In fact, some places were approaching record levels, which, the Guadalupe River has been through a lot. We know that it has quite a history. So to the fact that it reached record levels, or at least close to it, pretty incredible. It harkens back to, a lot of people remember 1987. 2004 was also mentioned. Those are big years for floods. And so here we go again. And the rain, again, is still coming down in Kerr County, so that is a bit concerning. And I should point out, the rain is coming to an end in San Antonio. We are seeing a break. We've had light rain most of the morning, but certainly nothing like they've been seeing in the hill country. And I do think we'll get a break as we head into the afternoon. Of course, the question is what kind of unfolds later today. And unfortunately, that is a big question, because this low here is not being handled too well by the computer models, and they've done a pretty awful job of kind of playing this out. But let me show you one computer model and what it's kind of indicating. So as we get into this evening, still maybe a few showers left over. Now this takes away a lot of the rain later today, which would be a good thing. But as we get into tonight, if that upper level low is still around, then we may see some more showers and storms redevelop even going into tomorrow. And we've raised the rain chances on Saturday to account for that, to account for this, again, little spin that we got going on in the atmosphere. So let's show you the Guadalupe River and these flood warnings that go along with it. So right now we have flood warnings that stretch from Comfort up to Spring Branch. And that's going to go until tomorrow morning. Of course, you got Guadalupe River State Park up here. Folks will be camping out there. Perhaps, I'm not sure what their plans are as far as closing facilities there. But anywhere along this river, if you have plans today to maybe tube or you're just, camping out or whatever, know that the water is going to rise. It may take until this afternoon for that to get to Spring Branch, but we're going to see that, and there could be some flooding in this sector all the way into going into tomorrow morning. Then, of course, this all hits Canyon Lake. We'll see Canyon Lake fill up some, and then we'll see how much water is released downstream through New Braunfels and further south. That will also be a big question. So kind of to recap here, the water levels at the Guadalupe River from Kerrville to Center Point starting to come down. Comfort and beyond starting to rise. And we could see some major flood stage yet again, just based on what we've seen so far. Okay, forecast today, and I want to get this out there for folks here in San Antonio for your 4th of July plans. We want to make sure we don't forget about the forecast. 83 noontime, 87 at 3 o'clock. We're going to keep in a 30% chance of rain, and then by this afternoon, 87. Still some rain chances there. We're hoping that by the time fireworks come around, we'll have lower odds, and that's the way it's looking, 20%. So that we can still enjoy some of our festivities, although that is not the case across parts of the whole country, unfortunately, today. Okay, let's go out to Alex. He's got some more pictures and video coming in to us. Alex, what are you seeing?
Yeah, good morning, Justin. So I came back to a place that I was previously at. I'm back on Sutherland Lane. And this is the road that we saw that pig earlier this morning. So a rancher was able to come out and get that pig. So the pig has been accounted for, and I was also able to talk to Centerpoint Volunteer Fire Department, and they've made some rescues themselves too. They were able to rescue people off of State Highway 27. That's still blocked right now because of overflowing water. We did see earlier that a car was right smack dab in the middle of that highway, and that person was saved by Centerpoint Fire Department. So just we have been seeing some rescues despite all of the horrific stuff that we've been seeing earlier this morning. So again, this area, I came back to it. I wanted to see if the water level was lower, and it is lower. This road right here that's right in front of me, you could not see this earlier, and then now you see a lot of the water level is just getting a little bit lower, closer to Guadalupe River. So I'm going to keep on so I'm going to stay put in this area, a Center Point, maybe even go back up to Kerrville, because again, State Highway 27 is going to be completely shut down. I can't even make my way to Comfort or to I-10. I would have to go back to Kerrville to get around that. So just a heads up, because that highway still remains closed because of overflooding. And I'll toss it back to you, Japhanie.
All right, thanks so much, Alex, giving us that update. It's good that they got the pig and everything situated out there. I know there's just a lot of troubling areas over there that Alex has been being at and giving us that firsthand view of it. Let's break down some of our outages. We got some good news on this front, at least. Things are getting better. I know when we started the show earlier this morning, we were right at 5,400 and something different outages. Right now, that number has lowered. We're down at 2,741. So again, red dots in this particular area. So this is in Kerr County as a whole, but around Kerrville, they did have one big red dot, which symbolizes, 500 plus. No, we're looking at, simple outages, one here, one there. The biggest spot right there, when we have the number out, is 110. And again, there's crews en route. They have it, details listed right there. So again, if you are waking up in the dark, they're trying to get this situated and move it as fast as they possibly can to get your lights back on. But obviously their hands are tied and full at this time. So again, you guys have also been doing a good job with sending in what you've been seeing and what your perspectives are as far as weather coverage and what you've been coming face to face with. Again, Elizabeth Byers got to give this some more. Look at that. Again, the flow of water, low water crossing on Ingram Hills Road. This is what you're going to see. This is what she sent in about 40 minutes ago. If it's flowing that much still, I don't know, but rather just avoid it altogether, because again, we never want to risk getting to a spot where you can't get out of it. And again, I've been just following the Facebook pages, looking at Kerrville. I know this came in 58 minutes ago, again, talking about how it's a very catastrophic event in Kirk County and then confirming fatalities. I do know over in the city of Kerrville that we were dealing with, they have a Walmart set up over there that is going to be used as a temporary reunification area for people to go to. So again, if you guys need some type of help, again, do not be afraid to reach out. I know a lot of people are following this very closely. A lot of first responders, again, are super duper busy. And if you do have anything that you can show us, give us that perspective. If you got kids who are at camp right now and got like some type of understanding if they're okay, we're still waiting to get communication on that front to see exactly what has happened there. Just let us know. Reach out, come contact us right now. And again, send your stuff to KSAT Connect. Get those images in, get your videos in, and begin, if you do so, make sure you're doing it safely. Okay, so at this time, where are we going? Okay, so let's go over to Ernie. Ernie, you got some updates going on.
I'm trying to just take it all in here, and we've reached the bottom of the hour here. And so just for a little housekeeping purposes, we are planning to be on the air right now until 11 o'clock. And then obviously we have the news at noon as well. So our coverage will continue all day long on all of the KSAT platforms here. As you see the live radar behind us, and we'll get Justin back here in just a few minutes to give us an update on this stubborn system that is just not going anywhere right now, which is not great news. Some other things that have come up in the last few minutes here as it relates to resources from San Antonio. We heard from the San Antonio Fire Department, and they've confirmed they did send over, they call it an AMBUS, an ambulance bus, as well as some medical personnel from ESD, Emergency Services District 2 and ESD 7. They were called in to assist Kirk County, so had a feeling that would be the case. And obviously on a holiday weekend where resources are already stretched thin and staffing is limited, you had a feeling that Bexar County and San Antonio would be sending some help over there. And in fact, that was the case. Also, the mayor of Kerrville, Joe Herring, has issued a disaster declaration for Kerrville, and that would presumably open up that area for state and federal resources when it comes to cleanup and help and those kinds of things. So a formality there that obviously played out in the last hour or so. So the wheels are in motion for that in terms of getting help eventually and financial resources where it is needed as well. So again, we're continuing to monitor all of this. We're going to stay on the air with you at least until 11 o'clock here. Patty Santos is back with us here now as we've got her camera and her signal set up again. Patty, where are you right now?
Hey there, I'm in the Arcadia neighborhood right now, and I wanted to show you this home. This is the home that moved. You see it's a mobile home, but you could see on the ground, that is where it used to be, and you could see the water pushed it over to the side. Right now we are getting a lot of people that are coming out of their homes or they're driving by, taking a look at the aftermath that has been happening here. We have been trying to get some updates from the fire departments in the area. As you can imagine, they are very busy right now trying to get to those people. We're trying to find out if there's still any active rescues that are happening, but at this point it has been all silent from emergency responders as they work to get a handle on the situation. But again, we wanted to show you just the damage that has happened here. Arcadia Loop, just south of Ingram, that mobile home was moved to the side, and you can see a lot of the debris right behind that, those bushes there. That is where the Guadalupe River is flowing. We're going to send it back to you guys.
All right, I'm going to take it from here, Patty, because just checked in with TxDOT, and they have confirmed to me that basically this entire stretch of Highway 27 right now is completely closed due to the flooding that we've seen overnight. So obviously we know that Highway 39, which intersects with Ingram right here, we know that Highway 39 much further west has been closed for the better parts of our entire morning. Well, now we are basically hearing that all this entire stretch of Highway 27 going through Kerrville and headed towards Center Point and all the way up to Comfort are completely shut down at the moment. And there's also reports of some pretty significant flooding further south of this, Highway 16 headed towards Medina as well. So obviously the situation has gotten a little bit worse in terms of the flooding situation and the roads that we are seeing at the moment. And of course, one of the biggest areas of concern right now was over in Ingram. And this is that one stretch that Patty Santos had reported earlier where we did have reports of, unfortunately, some missing individuals over by Arcadia Loop, that one stretch right in between a couple of dams over by New Lake Ingram and Old Lake Ingram off of the Guadalupe River. Okay, let's go to Sarah Costa. She is on the scene in Ingram right now off of Junction Highway, which is this particular spot, with some brand new information for us. She is live right now. Sarah Costa, what can you tell us out there in Ingram?
Hey, RJ, like you've been saying all morning, that highway is closed on Junction Highway. We got the furthest we could. We were trying to get to Hunt because there are reports of lots of rescues in that area. I just talked to the Kerr County Sheriff's Office, and they told me that they have their boats on standby. This is the Guadalupe River right behind me. We're pulled over on Junction Highway at a park nearby, and you can see just how full and swollen this river is. Apparently, they are trying to get to several rescues just west here of Ingram in the Hunt area, but they can't deploy their boats. We can hear the aircraft above us. They said they're waiting on a lot of aircraft that is coming in to help assist with these rescues. And so we do know that there is a camp in that area, Camp Mystic. We haven't gotten any confirmed reports if those are where those rescues are happening, but we can report that we were just talking to the Kerr County Sheriff's Office. There are several missing people all across this area, especially near that Hunt area where they can't deploy their boats. Now, they said if you have a family member that is missing and not accounted for, to go to the Ingram Elementary School. That is where you can go and talk to the first responders, tell them where your loved one was last seen or where they were last known to be missing. And then also, if you're in this area and need shelter, a lot of the RV parks here need shelter at this time. They said there's a Methodist church off of Junction. That's where you're going to go for safety. But again, we were at that elementary school. Families were actively walking up to the elementary school, reporting their loved ones missing. So if you have anyone that's missing, go to the Ingram Elementary School. It's off of Brave Run and Junction. We are trying to get to that area of Hunt, but the first responders can't even get there. They have their boats on standby at this time. They are waiting for this aircraft to come in to help assist with multiple rescues in that area. We are still waiting to get more information about how many people are needed to be rescued in that area of Hunt, and they're waiting on that aircraft, which we just heard fly over us just a little bit ago. In Ingram, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Sarah. And speaking of the Guadalupe River, I want to give another update. We got some people sending more of their videos in. This is coming from Redneck Rick. It says flooding on the Guadalupe River in Kerrville. This right here is video that he captured showing the flow of water. Again, we cannot stress enough how dangerous this is and how you should never underestimate the power of this water. Again, he sent this in around 9 minutes ago. So if this is around your area or where you're living, please keep that in mind. We got another picture coming in. This is coming from JSOM814, Jellystone, Kerrville. Again, another flooded area right there. Okay, so we're going to be staying on top of this. And again, this is very helpful. Everybody who can, and if you're able to, in a safe way, send it our way and send exactly where you're sending it from. So we'll know exactly what that looks like, and we'll be able to tell the neighbors, your community, people living in that area, what that is looking like. Your loved ones who are watching from a distance, what that looks like. So again, send that in, KSAT Connect. You can download that Weather Authority app. There's a way for you to send that video in, and we'll stay in touch and on top of this throughout the rest of this morning. Again, we're going to be on until 11 o'clock, and then we're going to be on again at noon. So again, this is going to be an ever-flowing and fluid situation, trying to give you guys updates minute by minute of what's happening on this 4th of July in that area. Let's go over to meteorologist Justin Horn. You, of course, have been on top of this since the dark hours.
Yeah, it's a really heartbreaking situation, just how this is unfolded. And, you know, we talked a little bit about the fact that there would be the possibility of some storms overnight. But I think what we had happen was really one of those worst case scenarios where we had a little disturbance roll in, and where the heavy rain fell was in the worst possible place imaginable, because where we were seeing kind of the bullseye of that heavy rain was right over the Guadalupe River and what feeds into the Guadalupe River. And when you get 8 to 10 inches of rain, which is what we were estimating, in this kind of atmosphere with as much moisture as there is in place, you're going to get flooding, especially in the hill country, and especially when you have gravity at play here. And and of course, the timing, because it was July 4th, we know people were RVing, they were camping, there were people at camps. Just, again, it's heartbreaking. The timing is just awful in all of this. So here's the authority rate right now. And the bad news, just, kind of add insult to injury here, for lack of a better term, we have more rain starting to move in. And that means that while I don't think we're going to see the kind of rise we did this morning with the Guadalupe River, this could cause another minor rise in for first responders or for folks that are, trying to get rescues and that sort of thing. That would be a problem. And it probably is hindering things right now because the rain's coming down pretty heavy. We saw that with Sarah Costa's live shot there. Now, the other thing we need to point out, that is underway. The floodwaters have subsided some in Kerrville and further west, Hunt and Ingram, where they're, responding now and trying to find anyone who needs help. But further downstream, this is where we're starting to see the rise. And I believe that we've already seen that now in Comfort. It may still be rising, and this could reach major flood stage. And this is where it gets kind of, I think people can get caught off guard, is that in Comfort, yes, you've seen rain, but you did not see any same amount of rain as they saw out west. In fact, maybe an inch or so. But that doesn't mean that danger is not the same, because that wall of water, again, is coming right down the Guadalupe River, and it will catch people off guard if they're not paying attention. And I know RJ's been reporting that a lot of the roads there are preemptively closed or maybe closing because they are flooded, and that is a good thing. So again, further down, Sisterdale would be the next place, and they do have these flood warnings in place. In fact, this goes all the way down to Spring Branch, and I can show you that in just a second, but I do want to address this is a flash flood emergency. That's going to go to midday for Kirk County, but we've also got some new warnings out in Real. This also goes until 2 p.m. So you got Lakey here, and I know there are people on the Frio River, and that extends, these storms extend out towards close to the Frio River. So I'm not saying there's going to be flooding there, but for campers and stuff, let's be very weather aware. And then we've also noticed that some of this rain is funneling down into the Medina River basin. So our rivers and creeks are going to be swollen all across the western part of our viewing area. Now in San Antonio, the rain has ended, and we can't stress this enough. There is no issue for flooding here in San Antonio. Okay, so we're doing good here. It's not to say we couldn't see a few more showers today, but we're not seeing what they're seeing here in the Hill Country. Let me take all this off, and I just want to show you kind of the impressive nature of what is happening here. And this is it's just a little area of low pressure. It's not necessarily strong, it's weak, but it just has a lot of moisture to work with, and now it's kind of on the move. It was drifting earlier. Now you see it's kind of taking a southeasterly type movement. Now, where this goes today is going to play a huge role in what happens later this afternoon, obviously, and where we see some more heavy rain setting up. Now, the concern would be with that water moving downstream, if this heavy rain follows that rise in water, that would be like a double whammy and not good. Anywhere along the Guadalupe River today, I would say, well, at least before you get to Canyon Lake, I would say let's avoid it. You just don't want to be near the river the way it's behaving. Let me show you too, and we've been showing this all morning, but it really is kind of the most important factor here, the amount of rain that came down. And you see that bullseye, and again, this is that worst case scenario I was talking about. But you see this wavy line here, that's Highway 39 that runs through Hunt and Ingram. Well, that also runs right along the South Fork of the Guadalupe River. And so all that rain came right down on top of a river that had already seen some rain this season. And now it just created a wall of water. And, I know a lot of the camps and cabins are right up on the river here. I mean, they're right up on the bank. So when this floods, and if it happens quickly, it can be just such a dangerous situation. And I'm afraid that's what has unfolded this morning. And we're starting to get more heavy rain in Gillespie County and Kendall County. So this is all just sort of compounding the issue. Very quickly, because I know people want the forecast and I don't want to leave that out, let's take a look at the 7-day. We've got a 60% chance of rain, at least early here in San Antonio. I do think it tapers off by this evening and tonight for fireworks. Again, we are going to have to watch though where that low moves. If it shifts directions on us, that could change things. But as of right now, we're thinking less of a rain chance by this evening. 30% chance tomorrow. We do need to watch tonight. It does look like maybe we could see a few more downpours set up. If that's the case, flooding will very much be a concern. And then we get some drier conditions going forward. That's kind of the latest there with the forecast. And now we're going to toss it over to Japhanie and Ernie.
Yeah, we've been covering this event all morning long. And again, we've got boots on the ground in the communities. They have captured some amazing video that kind of shows how catastrophic this event has been for that community.
I mean, it really is hard to believe. And we've got a combination of live videos right here. This is from Comfort, some videos that were sent to us and from our different crews scattered all out throughout Kerr County. This was that portable building that we saw earlier. Alex Gomez's shot with all of the debris, that one building that we saw in there, and other debris floating in the river.
And right now we're going to go to Blue Oak RV. This is where some images that we got from there, just showing that, first responders have been actively working. Look how fast that water is going. That was one of the issues that I saw when they got in the boats. Yeah. Trying to fight those currents, and obviously trying to look for any possible missing people that have been reported. Again, we're still hearing that there are several people who are unaccounted for at this time, and unfortunately multiple fatalities that they haven't even given us a number just yet. So
right, and there are, I mean, let's be honest, there are some people talking on social media.
Yeah.
And until we can confirm these things, we're certainly not going to speculate and everything. But the Kerr County officials have confirmed, in their words, fatalities, plural. They will not say how many.
Right.
And they, of course, are going to notify next of kin before they do any of that. So we can only rely on what they've told us right now and be respectful of that, of course. So we know multiple people have passed away. We just don't have a number yet.
I think this right here is a shot of Guadalupe, the river. And you just see all of the debris that is washed up over the roadways. It almost looks like, one of those rapid water situations that, people typically do for recreational purposes. But that right there is just not something that I'm pretty sure these people are used to seeing in this area.
Right. And then now you don't know if these bridges have been compromised. Even once they clean, all of this debris just banging up against this bridge and everything. For example, that right there.
That is crazy.
It looks like I don't know if that's a propane tank or something that's floating around, which obviously would carry significant weight to it. The logs and everything. There were reports that Texas Parks and Wildlife have put up choppers, or a chopper for aerial rescues, which would be, tricky to say the least, just with ongoing weather in that area. But the reports of people stuck in trees and those kinds of things. And so we're continuing to monitor all of that as well.
And with all this happening, you already know there are going to be some cancellations at this time. We got a heads up on those right there. The city of Fredericksburg posting this on their Facebook page due to inclement weather. 2025 4th of July parade in Fredericksburg has been canceled, and unfortunately do not expect it to be rescheduled. That was one and done. But for some people out there, again, fireworks are still on for tonight as of right now, weather permitting. And of course, you need to stay tuned. Okay, we're going to have the updates coming into our pages and of course on our website at KSAT.com.
Guadalupe State Park posted this notice saying all programs scheduled for today are canceled. The post goes on to warn people that the park expects significant rises in water level and flow over the next few hours. And right now, our KSAT web team is working on a roundup of today's cancellations and updating it in real time as different things come in. So you can go to KSAT.com for the very latest on that.
So at this time, we're going to go out to Patty Santos. Again, she's been out and about all morning long, kind of our eyes and ears from the scene. Patty, I asked Alex earlier, I can only imagine what you have been experiencing just interacting with people there. What are people, what's the overall emotion at this time?
Well, as you can imagine, for a lot of them, they've lost their homes, or they're missing family members, so it's pretty devastating. I want to show you the scene that we are right now. This is the Ingram Elementary School. We just followed in an ambulance that moved in, as well as that bus that you're seeing right in front. That is the mass casualty bus. It looks like this might be the staging area for emergency crews right now. We have seen some state troopers that are stationed here, as well as some military style vehicles. It looks like this is where they're probably going to be working here at the elementary school, trying to set up some sort of the next step for what happens this morning. But you are looking at the mass casualty bus, the emergency vehicles that are parked at the Ingram Elementary School right now. We are seeing so many flashing lights all over Highway 27 going up and down, emergency crews trying to move to the next location, boats being moved around. This is a very fluid situation this morning. It has been hours, and this is still, they have not been able to get a handle on this situation. We are still trying to get more information on what kind of help the crews need here. Obviously, they have contact with all kinds of emergency responders in the area that have come up, send up crews to be able to help them with this recovery effort. But this is the scene that we're seeing right now. We're going to give you more updates as we get them, as we drive around the town here, and we're just going to be your eyes and ears in this community. We'll send it back to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Patty. And we're continuing to get some pretty sad news there. Obviously, some pretty devastating updates, and not only potential loss of life, but also you see some of the damage of some of these people's homes, their livelihoods as well. So let's give you an update on the situation in terms of the highways out here, because TxDOT, they've been also helping out with local officials there, not only in Ingram, but Kerrville as well, because we have got some serious flooding taking place right now, specifically on Highway 27. This is going to be Center Point, and this one entire stretch of Highway 27, basically going from Center Point all the way up to Comfort, has been completely shut down at the moment. We also have a major closure right here, parts of Highway 16, basically going from Kerrville south to Medina. Now, as you get closer to Medina, it's being reported as low water crossings. So again, either Highway 16, a major highway that a lot of folks use in this area, I would suggest just not having to go out if possible, and also Highway 27 right there. But let's go to the map of where Patty was kind of talking about, because this is an area that was clearly hit hard right off of the Guadalupe River. This is KSAT Loop, a little bit south of Tom Moore High School, so Ingram Moore High School, if you will. So basically, elementary school is also right here, and this was that one area over by that campground where there were reports of folks that unfortunately went missing in this one particular spot. There are two dams that kind of are along the river right here. Not too sure if that's exactly kind of what led to some of the rush of water that we saw out there in that parts of the Guadalupe, but still a pretty serious situation as we continue to gather more information from folks out there in Hunt and Ingram. Sarah and Patty both out there on the scene for us. Kerrville, this area, we did confirm some fatalities here, and there were reports of high water rescues right here along the Guadalupe River at the River Oaks Apartments and also at the Robles RV Park. So this is Highway 16, this is Main Street, and it looks like they have kind of reopened Main Street for anyone that needs to kind of get around this one particular spot as the water recedes along this part of the Guadalupe, but still trying to gather some information on where exactly those fatalities occurred in the city of Kerrville, but that has been confirmed according to some of their officials there. 534 Kerrville, this is south of Tivy High School. It looks like things are starting to reopen in this one particular stretch. Earlier we had Memorial Boulevard that was completely closed. At last check, Guadalupe Street and Arcadia and Thompson were still closed as well. Let's take you out to Comfort, because we mentioned that wider map earlier. It looked like officials here had completely shut down parts of Highway 27 for all of our folks that use Highway 27 to get into the city of Comfort. Right now, there's a lot of drivers or a lot of activity right here on US Bus 87 that kind of runs a little bit parallel to I-10. I-10 not being affected, no main lanes of I-10 seeing any major issues or concerns. High Street runs along the Guadalupe River, so be careful if you are in that particular spot. Let's go to Alex right now with a check of things in Drive Cam. He's been throughout many parts of the Hill Country this morning, going from Center Point down to Kerrville. Alex, what is the very latest? And go ahead and give us an idea of where you are at, my friend.
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So right now I'm actually forced to go up back into Kerrville because Texas State Highway 27 is still going to be closed right there in Center Point. So it was overflowing with water, and that's why the highway is still closed over there. So this is back at Veterans Memorial Highway. Here's that bridge that we saw earlier this morning. The last time we talked when I was here, that water was pounding on that bridge right there, right where the cars are at. Now you can definitely tell that the water has gone down. We're talking meters down below that bridge. And so if I zoom out, you can just see all that green right there. Look at all these trees that are just laid out pretty much flat right here. So again, this was the area that we were seeing earlier. Before, it was a lot of water, but now that the aftermath, we can see we did not see this earlier. We just saw the windows when I was zooming in. Now we see cars, we see a bunch of debris right there. A lot of that structure has pretty much collapsed. And if I zoom out and if I pan right over here to the right, again, this same house that we were looking at earlier, the water was reaching just below those windows right there. Now you see a car, now you see all of this extra added square footage right there to the house that we did not see before because it was completely flooded. And again, more to the right, I mean, this is on the other side of Guadalupe River. It's on a street called Waterfront Drive. And if I zoom in on this property right here, this looks like remnants. I mean, this is a foundation that we see. I don't even see where the house was at on this foundation. So I'm going to make my way across the bridge right here. Like I said, the water has gone down significantly to where I do feel safe to cross it. A lot of cars are still crossing it right now. It has reopened. I know at one point they did close it. So I'm going to get on that side of the neighborhood. Again, Waterfront Drive and see what I can see over there, and hopefully everybody was able to get out safely, because right now you can see that was impacted severely. RJ.
Yeah, that is Loop 534, Veterans Memorial Highway. Alex, if you can still hear me, have you been seeing any other support vehicles kind of make their way through Kerrville? I'm wondering if they've kind of reopened some of the roads there, specifically Main Street around the Guadalupe River, Guadalupe Street, in order to kind of get a little bit more help for some of those county and city officials. Have you seen any other support out there?
Crews heading down to Center Point. The thing is, Texas State Highway 27, it's closed right there. So unless they're trying to get to Center Point to make some rescues, I don't know how they're going to do that, because they can't get past that flooded highway right there. I know those vehicles, even though they're pretty much large and they're grand, I mean, they can't make it themselves. So like I said, I'm forced to go up to Kerrville and make my way to I-10. That's the only way that I'm going to get to Comfort. That's what I'm trying to do right now. In the meantime, I'm making these pit stops to places that I've seen earlier. And so I want to see where they're going to go as well.
Okay, thank you very much for that update as we give you another look there at Alex's live cam coming to us from Drive Cam. We have down trees. We still have a pretty good amount of water that's going through parts of Kerrville, and that it's making its way from parts of Ingram and Hunt as well. And again, another reminder is that part of Highway 27 over by Center Point still completely closed for all of our drivers out there. And Alex is again on the spots for us as we continue to follow the very latest with some of this severe flooding out there in parts of the hill country. And I do want to remind our folks that Highway 16 also further south towards Medina seen some major flooding as well. Don't want to forget about that one particular stretch. So let's go back to Ernie and Jeff at the desk.
Yeah, I will say that I thank God that water is low, because when we first saw it, it was banging against, like right near at the tires, that high on the bridge.
Could have reached over and just
Exactly. So thank God that has gone down a little bit lower, and traffic is moving along just fine. But we do want you guys to also send in whatever you have. We have the Weather Authority app, KSAT Weather Authority app. You can get for free. Get the KSAT Connect too.
So it is 10 o'clock. We have a new hour here. Some of you might be waking up or just joining us and wondering what's going on. It is the 4th of July, but unfortunately, we are having to talk about just what we now know is a catastrophic, deadly flooding in the Kerrville area. And this is live radar. And if you were with us a few hours ago, you probably think, well, wait a minute, this looks the same as, I mean, this storm has not moved. And Justin will talk about that here in just a little bit. But there have been cancellations, adjustments to schedules and everything as it relates to the holidays. So KSAT.com is probably the most convenient place to go and see where all of those cancellations are happening. Mandatory evacuations. Kerrville has issued a disaster declaration. Bexar County has sent resources over to Kerr County. And as you can imagine, we have multiple crews scattered throughout the area.
And again, I am asking everybody to send in whatever you can from a safe perspective, because that gives us a chance to show others that are living in your community where not to go. And I know as the sun is coming out, we're seeing the aftermath of the livelihoods that are being lost. I'm going to reflect on some of those images that we've gotten into our newsroom to show you the damage that we are seeing from people's households. But at this time, we got to pass it over to meteorologist Justin Horn. You got to make sense of this right now, because I'm pretty sure people who are in these areas are dying for some type of relief.
Sure, and it's been a rough night for sure, and we're working on putting together a timeline here to kind of show you how this all unfolded. But we know the worst of it really took place around 4 a.m. That's when we started getting that really heavy rain, and meteorologist Sarah Spivey's been over there working on kind of placing it and putting it together and kind of telling the story of how and why this is why the river rose and why we saw as much rain as we did. And we'll give you that in just a bit. But I do want to pass along some data to you real quick. So we're getting word now from the USGS, and this comes to us via National Weather Service. They were able to find that there was a crest of 36.58 feet in Kerrville. That is a huge number. That is major flooding, and they are headed to Hunt to try to get that gauge back online. So we lost these gauges, so that's why we were unable to tell exactly how we knew we were rising. But now we're also learning that in Comfort, this is just coming in, the river has risen 26 feet in just 45 minutes. So now in major flood stage, and I want folks in Comfort to be fully aware of that. And downstream, so we're talking Sisterdale, we're talking Candelia, folks downstream along the Guadalupe River, past Comfort, this is coming your way too. But Comfort, please be aware that you are now in major flood stage, and water is still rising and has come up in a big way. What we can do here is kind of walk you through the radar and show you what is unfolding at the moment. And this is the other bit of bad news, is that we have more heavy rain moving into Kerrville and Kirk County. So the next question would we see another rise in the river? And I would tell you it's possible. It truly is, because this rain that we're seeing is just torrential rainfall. Now, the river is crested and has come way back down, but we may see another minor rise at least with the rainfall that we're seeing across Kirk County right now. And if this persists, this could go from bad to worse. I will tell you that, and I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. This is a life-threatening situation from Kerrville down to Comfort and beyond, and we're just adding more water to the Guadalupe River with these showers and storms. And what's behind all this? Well, you see this swirl in the atmosphere? That is an area of low pressure that is in the middle part of the atmosphere, and it is tapping into just an incredible amount of moisture that is coming in from the Pacific, and we have Gulf moisture. I mean, you want to talk about just, I hate to use this term, the perfect storm, but honestly, it's kind of the way these the confluence of all these ingredients, unfortunately, has resulted in something truly tragic here this morning over Kirk County and over parts of Gillespie County as well. Now, if you're watching from San Antonio, we had light rain most of the night, but it has tapered off and we're fine here. You go, 70 miles up the road and it is a horrible situation. You just want to avoid these areas if at all possible. And I do want to zoom in on some of these heavier storms that are now starting to take shape. By the way, you could see some gusty winds out of this. These are not severe storms. They're just really heavy rainmakers. And in fact, what we can do now is I will pause this and we can put on the rainfall rates. And I think that will be really telling, just to show you how moisture laden this atmosphere is and how much rain it can produce just in an hour. And you're talking 7 inches per hour. And normally we would say, well, these storms are moving. You're not going to get 7 inches because it won't sit there for an hour. That is not the case today. These storms may very well sit there for several hours. That's what happened this morning. You had rainfall rates like this right over the Guadalupe River, and it sat there for 3 to 4 hours and just put down incredible amounts of rain. And so that is the issue. So let's look back at the radar here real quick. And I've been talking with meteorologist Sarah Spivey. This is a very tricky forecast because as of right now, San Antonio, again, not seeing anything. But if this low starts to drift a little further southeast, it's possible some of these bands could get a little closer to us. I know we got a lot going on today, of all days, but this is going to be something. I'm not saying we're going to see flooding here in San Antonio because I don't think that we will, but we certainly could see some rain. And while we think it will taper off by the time fireworks go off and all that sort of thing, we do need to keep an eye to the sky today, especially if you plan to be outdoors. We will certainly keep you posted, but this has been as I said, kind of a tricky forecast trying to nail down what this little area of low pressure is going to do. It has kind of a mind of its own. It's just dancing around more or less. And man, has it caused some issues. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast action. We just updated this. And this is going to be a little bit fluid. I mean, I'm just being perfectly honest with you, just the way the forecast is setting up. But we're going to leave a 40% chance of rain in there through 2 p.m. And then we will taper those rain chances off to 30%. But with all the clouds today, and if you were thinking about heading to the pool today, it may not be the best day because it's going to be cloudy most of the afternoon. And we'll get still some chances of rain. Now, around 9, 10 o'clock, that's when we have fireworks. Right now, 20% chance of rain. But do please stay weather aware today, and we certainly will keep you posted. Let's look at the Guadalupe River real quick. That continues to be our focus, and the warnings are still there. And as we said, Comfort has seen the rise, a big rise, and all that water is coming downstream now. So we mentioned Guadalupe River State Park. I believe we got a statement from them saying that all activities have been canceled. You'll want to check ahead. But I would just say, if you have plans to go to the Guadalupe River, anywhere in the hill country, west of Canyon Lake, I probably would not do it. Today is not the day for it, unfortunately. And we still have flood warnings that are going to go until tomorrow morning. So it takes some time for all this flood water to subside. It all goes into Canyon Lake, of course, so we should see a rise there. And then, I'm not privy to this, but how much water they release downstream, I don't know how, what that will look like, but they will release water downstream towards New Braunfels and beyond so that there's not flooding, upstream. At any rate, there are the flood warnings right now. Again, this is a flash flood emergency for Kerr County. Just a horrific scene this morning after likely a wall of water that started on the South Fork of the Guadalupe River and just worked its way down the river through Kerrville and Hunt and Ingram, and now moving through Comfort and beyond. And we'll continue to try to keep an eye on those river gauges and track where this is headed, guys.
All right, we're going to Alex Gomez.
Yeah, we're going to get out to Alex Gomez here. And again, Alex, a lot of people comparing this to the floods of 1987 and just trying to make sense of what happened overnight.
Yeah, it's horrific. And I was actually talking to residents over here in southern Kerrville, and they were saying the same thing. They saw this in 87, and they're getting flashbacks of it. So right now, where I'm at, I'm on the other side of the river. I'm south of Guadalupe River still. You can see right there in the background, that's going to be where I was at, Veterans Memorial Highway. Again, for anyone needing to know, that highway has reopened. That bridge is open, and you can see how much the water level has gone down. Like Japhanie was saying, I mean, this water was hitting that bridge pretty good when I first arrived here a couple hours ago. Right now we're talking that the water's down at least meters, and if I zoom out right here, this is the other side of the river, and you can just see this porch right here. We have a few steps right here, and I can only assume that there was a house attached to it at one time. This is the foundation. You have electrical, you have plumbing sticking out, and if we look more to the left, I mean, you're seeing the same thing right here. Plumbing sticking out. This is the foundation to where we could have had a house. We have the mailbox right here in the front. So this neighborhood got it hit hard pretty bad as well. This is Waterfront Drive, just south of the Guadalupe River. And if we look further down the road, closer to the bridge, the Veterans Memorial, you can see this house right here, the corner, the back wall completely torn away. Even right here, this side corner, you can see through the house. I'm seeing the bridge right here, looking through the house. Right here on Waterfront Drive. So this area, again, got hit pretty bad. The house next to that, we have a car sitting top of a driveway that kind of collapsed right here. So this is the kind of damage that we're seeing just south of Kerrville. So again, State Highway 27 going to be completely closed. I'm still trying to make my way into Comfort, but from this point, I'm going to have to work my way up to Kerrville to get on I-10 to come down Comfort because this is the damage that we saw earlier this morning. And like Justin and Sarah was saying, I mean, a lot of the downstream water is going to be hitting in that region. So I want to make sure that we can get everybody up to date with any updates that they need to know, and we can let them know from there. So I'll get back to you when I reach that side of town, Ernie.
That's awful. Like, we're just dealing with a lot of devastation. Look at that, just properties completely destroyed.
And I mean, you just can't help but think that, and I've said this a few times already this morning, that on a typical summer weekend, this would have been a place to be, to hang out. Obviously, so many of us, I mean, I've camped in the hill country before with my family, but on all days, for it to be 4th of July. And unfortunately from now on the 4th of July, in this community, they're going to remember this, unfortunately, and we know lives were lost. We don't know how many right now. And again, the Kerr County officials have used the plural. It's fatalities. And until and obviously, again, we've talked about how these agencies don't necessarily have PIOs, right? The public information officers. They don't have large staffs. Not to mention it's a holiday today. So we've tried to call. All of us have tried to call, and the line is busy or goes unanswered. And that, typically you might get frustrated, but you understand that there's not people that can sit and just answer phones right now. And the information we have been able to get through text and other things, people there have been as patient and understanding under the circumstances as they can be this morning. So I know you, Jaffney, are monitoring there at the Storyteller more videos, and you've put an appeal out there for people if they can safely send you something to do so.
And yes, again, and I'm strictly asking people who are in areas that they're able to send it in. Please do so, because again, we're talking about lives lost here. We're talking about livelihoods lost. We're talking about property, and obviously family members missing at this time. So I know we're going to be checking in with Patty and Sarah Costa. They were talking about different locations that families can go if they are missing a loved one. And I know we're going to get an update from first responders from Sarah Costa coming up pretty soon. But I just want to give you guys a perspective of what some of you have sent in to me, just showcasing the damage and the aftermath of what's been happening. So again, I showed you this image earlier from Jason 814. He sent this from Jellystone, Kerrville, but he also sent us a picture of this. You can see just the debris, trees, looks like some type of camp fridge. Everything is going down, and people are starting to see the results of all that high water. And speaking of seeing the results of all of that high water coming in, I want to bring this picture back. This is coming from a person by the name of Mike Trollinger. This is his property, which was located between Ingram and Hunt. Now, earlier I did show how you can see the debris and stuff that had been in his house. The water has receded, obviously, but you see up here on the walls near the ceiling, this was like 2 feet from the ceiling, that's how high the water got, right? But I want you to also take a look at this. It might have gotten even higher because we got the ceiling fan, got some debris, like some type of debris or residue from the water on it as well. And just give you a perspective of how tall or big this room is. You got a recliner here. And again, it's just unfortunate to see just how much destruction happened in this household. So if you see that this is a household gone, just imagine the people who are in these RVs or had RVs that were just swept away. So we're still waiting to figure out the outcome and the latest of the damages as the sun comes out, as we have more people on the scene. I know San Antonio is jumping in to try to help service people up there. And only good news that I could report on at this time is that, again, our outages in this area have gone down. We're looking at only 11.49% of Kerr County being out of power. And specifically speaking, over here in Kerrville, you see that we're only dealing with, a couple of, here or there, one or two possibly happening. But at this particular area where I click on, you got 110. This is kind of the biggest area in Kerrville that they're dealing with some type of outages. And this is the Kerrville Hills Ranch Estate. So, we're following all of this. We're following all of your damages. We're following all of your messages. If you guys have anything, and again, safely send it in. We're not asking you to risk your life. We're not asking you to do something that you wouldn't normally do, but get to safety. Shoot us what you see. Shoot us your neighborhood, so that way we can give people an understanding of what they are going to see when they get to wherever their properties are, or when they wake up to whatever they're going to wake up to. But at this time, I know we got Patty Santos who's still out there and out and about. Patty, Where are you located? What are you seeing? What have you learned so far?
So we're right outside the Riverside RV Park. This is an area that was closed when we first got here. You could see that the current is moving very strongly. As I pull out here, you can see the RVs have just been left abandoned here. The people that were staying here, camping out for the 4th, forced to leave after these floods came in. This is an area that we really didn't have access to when we first came in, but the water has receded, although it has continued to rain throughout the day. But we have just seen emergency responders going up and down State Highway 27. It has been a very busy morning. It has not stopped. We have not been able to really sit down and talk to them to find out what is going on, where are the rescues, because right now the rescues are still happening. They are still going. The crews that we saw earlier today that were deploying into the water, they were trying to get upstream, but we saw them fighting against the current, just pushing their little boats down, and they could not make it very far. We know that at the end of State Highway 27 here, this is where we are. We cannot go any further because the road is closed, because leading up to Hunt, the water has just gone over the road and we can't go through. Even emergency crews can't get through there right now. So we are waiting. We have a crew right now at in Kerrville, and they're going to be getting an update from officials on the emergency response, but we know this is a fatality situation. This community right here in front of the Riverside RV Park, there was a lot of people here just even an hour ago when we passed by. But again, the rain has pushed them out. Maybe they were here just to pick up a few things that they left behind, but they are also gone. Very quiet feeling in the Ingram community right now. Very solemn feeling. The roads, the only people that you're seeing out here right now are people that need to be out, which is emergency responders. But that is the scene that we are seeing right now. And again, this is just a changing situation. Thank you so much for staying with us as we learn more information and as we bring you the updates and the images from this community that has been devastated by this flood. We're going to send it back to you guys.
All right, Patty Santos there reporting. Thank you very much. So we've just had to make a change. We were calling an audible here in terms of our coverage. We were going to sign off at 11 o'clock, but we've just been informed. Representatives from the Kerrville Police and Fire Departments, the county sheriffs, the Kerr County sheriffs, they are going to hold a press conference at 11:30.
Yes.
And so we are going to stay on with you through 1 o'clock now, because obviously we would have the news at noon. So they are going to have representatives answering media questions and making a statement. This will be at 11:30 at the Hill Country Youth Event Center. So we will continue and be obviously very interested in what they have to say in about a little more than an hour from now.
Yeah, so make sure you guys, again, keep our apps handy, the Weather Authority app, the KSAT app, KSAT.com, wherever you seek your information. We're going to bring you guys that updated stuff live is in firsthand. But at this time, again, we're going to take a really short break. You guys stick around, stay with us. We'll be right back with more update with this team covers wall to wall on this catastrophic fatal event.